language arts, and this is for grades 3rd through 6th this week. Next week is going to be math. And this year, iReady is going to be given to 1st and 2nd grades as a gate screener. Would you like to talk a little about iReady, Mrs. Mireles?
I could talk a little about it. I'm sorry, I was trying to record and it was loading, so I think it's recording now. But yeah, so we're finishing up ELA right now. So right now I've just been updating, refreshing and seeing how many students have completed the assessment. One of the things that I also wanted to, it'll be recorded. So wanted to let parents know is how iReady works, because sometimes I think that I had actually a student ask me today, is it 100 points? Is it an A? So they're thinking it like it's a grading thing, right? Some kids do. So it's really a scoring system that just places kids at whatever grade level they're performing at, and then there's lessons after that are just adaptive. They'll adapt to where the student is. So they get assignments or questions that are not too hard, but also not too easy for them. And so sometimes the question may seem really hard on the diagnostic. It'll be like an easy question, kid answers, easy question, and then all of a sudden it gets to like a really hard question. And sometimes when kids see it, they're like, oh my gosh, like I haven't learned this yet. And that's okay, because they might have not learned it yet. It could be a 5th grade question to a 4th grade student. But it's trying to find where the student's level is. So that's one of the things I just wanted to, communicate so that parents are aware. And I've also had conversations with kids about it today so that they know it's really used for us to know where the gaps are and what skills that they're still lacking, and really to help us monitor their growth also. And I know kids have been really excited. I'm getting all these little chats like on the side, like, Mrs. Mireles, did I do well? Am I doing better? Am I, so I don't want them to get stressed out about the color bands either. It's more like we want to see that you're progressing and seeing that, okay, you're moving up points, right? It's not necessarily, darn, like I didn't get to yellow and I'm on red, but it's really about like, okay, we're seeing like a 5 or 10 point increment, like you're growing, you're learning. And I mean, there's so many other things that we have to consider too, right? Like the situation we're in. And I know that some of the kids have had issues, home issues with like, family members that have been lost through COVID, or family members that have COVID. We've had parents that, we had one actually who was taking the iReady in the parking lot because their Wi-Fi was like awful. So there's just all these different factors. So we understand that, and we don't want kids to feel like anxiety either, but we do want them to be like motivated. So that's why we ended up throwing out that challenge, just to motivate them also, because we don't want them guessing either on the test, which is the other extreme, right? So anyways, that was just a spiel. It's an adaptive program for kids. And it's also, like Mrs. Valtierra said, 1st and 2nd will be tested in English, and that'll be next week. I think 2nd grade started today, but next week will be 1st grade, and it's just a gate screener. So I said just take one day to take English and one day to take the math part, because it's not something that we're using right now to monitor for our school or for our DI program.
Thank you, Ms. Mireles. And I think it's very important what you said about this is just to know where the kids are and for us to know how to help them. It's not that I got you, or you are you're not making progress. It's not that. We use iReady to inform our instructions. So I don't think the kids should be stressed about oh no, I'm gonna get a bad grade. It's not about that. It's not about grades.
And there's some that are not great test takers, right? That's just the thing. It's not just a kid. And that's what I always see. A test is not going to define who you are. It's not going to define, oh, wow, I'm a red. this is just me, right? There's so many different things. Like you may not be a great test taker, but you're a hard worker and you're going to keep trying and you're going to get good grades, because sometimes that hard work pays off even more than just a test, So I always think just don't don't let that define who you are. And that's not what I want kids to think. If it's just a test and this is who I am, no, there's so many other things, right? Different learning modalities. It's just not based on that, but it is something that we have to use to also monitor our students' growth.
That's right. Well, thank you. Let me move on to our next slide. And this week we have been celebrating Kindness Week. So tomorrow is our last day. We're going to be wearing pajamas. I think Mrs. Merenos loves to wear pajamas.
I do.
She comes up with all these wigs that I love. And we always have a pajama day, so I love it.
And it's great for the weather right now, right? It's like
Yes.
raining. Like, who doesn't want to be in their pajamas?
Right. So tomorrow Mrs. Mireles is going to read El día en que descubres quién eres. So, last day of our week, Kindness Week. Oh, okay. So today we send this link to all parents whose email is on file. And this is our Sunset Elementary input for site budget. So we will be getting our budget in the near future, the budget for next school year. So we need to know if the program we have in place is working. We need to know what we need to stop, what we need to add. And so it's very important that parents fill up the survey so they can let us know if what we're doing is working or if we need to change anything. So we have some questions, and we usually send this on on paper, but this time it's going to be digital, which I like because we're gonna get data very immediate, so we can calculate, how effective our programs are. And so I don't know, maybe we were going to put it in the chat, the link. We send it by email, but if you want to do it, Ms. Uribe, that would be great. So you can give us some feedback about how fast you filled it up, or if you have any questions about the items.
Oh, we have 30 responses already. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
That is, right? Okay, so I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat box. And Miss Uribe, you're very familiar with this already. You've been in school site council, so you know what this is. Let me see. I'll find over here.
I think I saw it in my email too.
Oh, okay.
I'll put it all.
You know what? I am very happy that we already got 30. That's good. There are some things about this technology that are much better, because when we do it paper pencil, it takes a while to send the documents, bring them back, and count the votes. So this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I see it.
We're gonna give you. You wanna do it right now, Miss Uribe? You don't have to, but if you want to, then if you have any questions about the items, we can talk about it.
Yeah. Hi, Miss Perez. I see you joined us. How are you?
Hello. Doing good, thank you.
Good. So right now we're doing the input for the site budget for next year. And I added the link on there. You can click on that link, and then if there's any questions you might have on one of the items, you can ask and we can clarify it or elaborate a little more.
Perfect. Oh, it's raining? Oh. Would it still allow me to complete it if I've already submitted it once?
Oh, you already did it?
I believe so. but it's still
Okay.
allowing me to review the information. So I don't want to submit twice.
Okay. Yes, it does. It does because it has access to everybody. Microsoft Forms, it's kind of funny. We can only limit to one input per email when it's our local email in a server for some people in our organization, but not when we get the other setting. Oh, so you already did it. Okay, so that's good. So what do you think? It's easy, right? It's easy to, and what about the items? Are they easy to understand?
Yes.
Okay, good. I know Miss Uribe already heard this, Miss Perez, but to this week, we don't have a lot of updates other than, letting you guys know that we're taking the iReady test this week. So this is the only slide we reviewed. We are doing iReady for grades 3rd through 6th. Tomorrow is the last day for language arts, and next week we're going to be doing math. And also 1st and 2nd grade are gonna take the test. They usually don't take iReady, but they will be doing it as a gate screener. It's not a gate test, it's just gonna be a gate screener. And then from there, students who are identified through the test, they are going to be taking the gate.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mrs. Perez,
my
did
question-
Catalina have trouble with the gate test? I think they took it today, correct? Oh, no.
No. Senora Cortez did send an email earlier today or
Okay.
a few minutes ago regarding it or this same flyer that you just posted or you just shared on the screen. I do recall you mentioning that this the iReady test would be administered in the morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. Mhm.
And what exactly when she states, for us to be of support to the children, to the kids, what exactly would I need to be doing during the window that they're testing?
So I think it's just making sure that the student has, has her tablet, or like Catalina has a tablet, has everything she needs, or if like there's an issue with technology, or just motivating her to do her best. Because this is a gate screener. So from here, the department or the gate department will take the results, and then this is what I'm assuming from my past experience, I would get a list of students that would be testing the actual gate test. So
Okay.
it's just really done independently, and she might get some questions that the teacher may have not addressed yet because it's an adaptive learning program. So she'll be like, it'll get like an easy question and then a little bit harder, and then it'll be something like really difficult maybe. And if she can't answer that, then it'll like bring it down to the next level. Like, it fluctuates depending on how she answers or her responses are to the question.
Okay. Do we know what day of the week this will be occurring?
So Mrs. Cortez will communicate that to you, and she's supposed to let me know this afternoon because I know she has a sub tomorrow, so she said, I didn't want to take it tomorrow or this week because I'm not going to be in, but it will definitely be next week because she wants to make sure I walk through it with the kids so they know where to go and what to click.
Alrighty.
And just let her know just to do her best. It's not about grading, and nobody's going to see, oh, no, you're not doing well, or it's just about checking where she's at. She has to just be relaxed, do the best she can.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. I didn't know if there was a timer that I need to be mindful of, or.
No.
No. She'll more than likely she'll take if it depends on how long it takes the entire class to finish, and I'm just speculating it might take maybe